Satyam complete good Vedanta now.
Satyam's very expert. She likes to hide though, but she's Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Everything, what does it mean? Satyam means truth. Shivam means auspiciousness. And Sundaram means beauty. So Satyam is truthful, auspicious, and beautiful. Haribo. Satyam ki jai.
What is the meaning of my name?
Radha. Radha is the dearmost beloved of Krishna, and it means she has topmost love. Her love is so great that she always attracts the heart of Krishna and steals the heart of Krishna. Radha. With her aradhana, by her worship, she won the heart of Krishna. And actually, Krishna always performs aradhana or worship of Radharani. Therefore, she is Radha. Krishna is always worshipping her, so she is Radha. And she is also worshipping Krishna with her love, therefore she is Radha. Gurudev gave an example of what is the meaning of Radha. Radhavati iti Radha. So Radha means, I'm telling you, Radha means, the word has two parts, like Krishna, two parts. So Krishna means who attracts everyone. Because he's so beautiful, so sweet, so loving, so he attracts everyone. And Radha means Raga, with love, with spontaneous love, Dhavati, she's running towards Krishna. The story of how Radha appeared is that Krishna was desiring to perform last dance, so he played his flute under the Kadamba tree alone. And then from his left side, Radharani appeared and then began to run to him. So Radha means Radhavati iti Radha. With love, Rag means spontaneous love, natural love. Like you have natural love with your mother. Natural, spontaneous love, like a river flowing to the ocean. No one tells the river to go to the ocean. No one has to tell the river, oh, go to the ocean. But naturally it flows to the ocean. This is Rag. So naturally Radha was running to Krishna. Dhavati means to run, very quickly. So she was running to Krishna very quickly with love. That is Radha. Okay? So we'll do a short class about Purusottama, something important you can all learn. I learned her full name today. Satyam Shivam Sundaram.
Satyam just make a joke there, but that is not.
Sure.
Sundaram?
Okay. Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Devidasi. Okay, so we'll start our class. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vandeham Shri Guruvaram Shri Rupanuga Pravaram Vrajarasarasikam Chanarayanam Sankripanam Shri Gurum Charanam Vande Ramana Pristaya Putale Rupanuga Bhaktidam Cha Kripa Murti Narayanam Seva Kunje Brajeram Ye Govardhane Giro Sada Radha Kundirasanande Tattat Seva Pradayakam Gurum Narayanakam Tang Vande Vinoda Pristakam Yat Parasmriti Matrena Dhamdara Prasviti Govardhana Dharam Vande Gopala Goparupinam Gokulam Utsavi Ishanam Govindam Gopikam Priyam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Praying to our Shri Gurudev and the Vaishnavas, we're going to discuss Purushottam Vrat. Do you want to learn something about Purushottam Vrat, Venu? You want to learn about it? A little bit? Okay.
No, that's not like that.
It's okay. So Purushottam month. We're in this month called Purushottam. Okay? Purush Uttam. Who knows what that means? Purush Uttam. Purush means like a personality, and Uttam means the highest. The highest being. Supreme being. That means Purushottam. The supreme being is Purushottam. So it's a name for Krishna. Krishna is Purushottama. And we'll tell how that is by story. How Krishna is Purushottam. So there's how many months in the year, Venu?
There's 12.
Right. 12 months in the year. You've been taught well. 12 months in the year. In the Western calendar, also in the Vedic calendar, there's 12 months. And in both calendars, there's something like extra, according to how many days in the year and how many days in each month. The Vedic calendar has how many days? 4 weeks, exactly. Because there's 2 weeks for the bright half of the moon, 2 weeks for the dark half. It's called Krishna Paksha, Sukla Paksha. Radharani was born during the Sukla Paksha, bright fortnight. And Krishna appeared in the dark fortnight, Krishna Paksha. There's 28 days for every month. So what happens is that because there's 365 days in the year, plus a little bit, you get every 3 years you get an extra month in the Vedic calendar. Whose phone is this? No problem, it'll go. Leave it, it's okay. It's coming from up there. In the Vedic calendar, every 2.5 to 3 years it changes. You get an extra month. Okay, so you get like a 13th month. This year we have a 13th month in the Vedic calendar. It's exciting, yeah? An extra month. A whole extra month. What are you going to do with it? It's like extra time. You can imagine like, oh, this year you have one whole extra month. If you go by the Vedic system. In the Western system, you have the leap year. It's every second, right?
Yeah, but this is a leap year, isn't it?
It's also leap year. So you get one extra day, February 28th, then you get February 29th. In Vedic culture, you get a whole extra month. Sometimes it's every 2 years, sometimes every 3 years. So what happens is that the karma kandis, Hindu priests who follow ritualistic ceremonies to get material benefit, they perform activities for auspiciousness, for welfare, for material benefit during the regular 12 months, but they think that this extra month isn't so good for performing activities that give you auspiciousness. They think it's like an extra month and it's not so useful. So they call it Malmas, like a useless month. Or Adik Mas, like an extra month. They say during this month you can't really perform auspicious activities or karma activities to get artha, wealth, family position. So this was like an extra month. Now one thing to know, in Vedic culture, everything has a personality behind it. So the sun god, he is Surya Dev. It's not just a hydrogen ball of fire. He's a person who has that body, like the earth, Prithvi Devi, Bhumi Devi. She has the earth goddess. The sun god, everything has personality behind it. Every month has a personality behind it. Every month has a devata. In Indian culture, there's 33 crore, 330 million devatas. So each month has a devata. It's very interesting. Each month, you hear that, Lita? What month were you born?
March 10th.
March. So there's a devata of March. Interesting, yeah? Okay, I'll give you days of the week. Sunday is about the sun. Monday, moon. Tuesday is
Mars.
Mars.
Yes.
Wednesday, Mercury, I believe. I actually don't have it
Monday.
straight. Thursday is Brihaspati, who is Jupiter. Friday, Saturday is Saturn, and then again Sunday. I forget
What
Saturday,
about the
Friday.
floating head?
Rahu Ketu, the floating head.
So what goes on, Jupiter?
That's another long story.
Jupiter.
Jupiter is Thursday.
Thursday.
That's Guru Day.
Okay.
Brihaspati is Jupiter. So what I'm saying is that each of the planets also has a personality. Even Thursday, the name Thursday comes from Thor, the god of thunder, in that other Norse mythology, Thor's day. So in ancient culture, even natural deities, even natural things had a deity behind them, a deva. That's why you say when something bad happens, like it's an act of God. If a flood comes or a fire comes, an act of God. Because there's a Agni Dev, if there's a fire, Agni Dev is there. If there's a hurricane or too much flooding, Varuna Dev is there. It means some karma is there, they call it Adi Daivika. Some force of divine influence is affecting this world. So there's a personality behind it. So each of the month has a deva. But this extra month, nobody liked him because no one would do puja in this month. You understand? No one would do any activity for auspiciousness or bhakti or karma or anything in that month because they said, oh, it's an extra month. No need to do anything. There's nothing to do with that month. So this month became sad. You know, like you have 12 brothers and sisters and everyone ignores you and nobody likes you, then it was very sad. You can imagine Venu or Lila or Lalit. Imagine you have 12 brothers and sisters
That would be a
and like
nightmare.
everyone ignores you. And so it was feeling like, oh, everybody ignores me. I was feeling very sad. So what did he do?
Huh?
What did the Deva do? The Deva of this month.
Get
He
back.
went to Lord Narayan. He went to Vaikuntha. Where is Vaikuntha? It's the spiritual world. Everything there is spiritual, nothing material. In this world, like this body has to die because it's made of matter. It has to transform. But in the spiritual world, everything's eternal. So he went to Vaikuntha and he said, oh Lord Narayan, it's like if you have a complaint and you go to your mom. Oh mom, Venu did this to me.
Yeah.
Oh, Lily did this to me. So you have to complain to who's in charge, right? You complain to who's in charge. You
Yeah.
complain to your mom, or do you go to Narayan?
Well, sometimes.
Sometimes you go to Narayan.
Yeah, because he's the one that gives the pals.
Here's the what?
The one that gives the pals.
Okay, the house. So who's in charge ultimately? Both's in charge. Mama.
Well, Mom's in charge of the house, Papa's in charge of the money.
Okay.
Papa's in charge of the Xbox too.
Papa's in charge of the Xbox. Okay, good. So the month went to Narayan. Who's more powerful, Narayan or Lakshmi?
Watchmen.
Lakshmi. Narayan. 1 point is. Show me the money.
I don't have money.
So the month, we're telling the story, okay? I want you to be able to remember the story. Next time I'm going to ask you the story. Okay? There's 12 months in a normal year, but there was an extra month that comes every 2-3 years. So the extra month felt left out because nobody gave it any attention. And nobody did any nice like kirtan or programs or fair sacrifices during that month. So he went to the boss, Narayan in Vaikuntha. And he said, everybody else is ignoring me and nobody likes me, so what should I do? So Narayan, what did he do? This is in scripture. It's in one of the scriptures saying, Lord Narayan said, okay, actually, I can't figure this out. There's a higher authority. Narayan said there's a bigger boss. Someone more in charge than I am. So who is that?
Krishna.
Krishna. So Narayan said, let's go to see Krishna. So Narayan and this month went to see Krishna and said their case. He said, oh, everyone ignores me. I want some benefit, some special extra mercy. So what did Krishna do? Krishna said, I bless you that this month will be known to be the most blessed by me. Krishna said, this month, now people call it Malmas. Mal means like garbage. People throw it out. So it was like Malmas. All the Karma Kandi people generally say, oh, you can't do anything nice in this month. Reject it. Don't do any auspicious activity. Just do your normal life. So Krishna said, this month will be the most auspicious month. And he gave it the name Purusottama. Purusottama Mas. Mas means month. So he gave it the name Purushottam. Purushottam means the greatest, supreme being, Krishna. Purushottam is a name for Krishna. It means the best person.
And Shiva.
Yeah, and Shiva too. Don't forget about Shiva. Vaishnavanam yata Shambhu. Shiva is also Krishna's greatest devotee. So then what happened? This month was very happy because it was like Krishna had given him the most. Like if someone is fighting, but your mom chooses your side, then you feel very happy, right? Right? So then this month was very happy. Krishna blessed him particularly, and this month became most auspicious. Krishna said that anything you do in this month gives you the most benefit.
Well, I just made a vow saying I have to chant one mantra, beat round every day.
Wow. When did you make the vow?
Yesterday, actually.
Wow. For the Purushottam month? You got her to do it? Good job. Good job, Janaki. Good job, Leela. You gotta do that every day. My mom made me do that when I was like 5 or 6, yeah. Before I was allowed to go out and play, I had to chant 1 round. What about you, Lily? Are you chanting yet?
Nope.
Menu?
All he does in RT is no.
Yeah.
You don't chant yet? Okay,
So
you can start.
sometimes I do.
You can start
No,
chanting
no.
too.
I sometimes.
All of it.
Lisa, when you chant, you remind them to also chant.
Okay. I'm telling Babe to like chant, but he's outside playing. I'm going on walks and chanting.
Okay, no problem. You gradually start also. You're older also. You should chant. It's important. Your mom and dad will be happy.
Okay.
Okay? Your mom and dad will be happy to chant. It's the best thing. So when you chant or do anything in this month of Purusottama, you get extra benefit. It's like you're playing a video game, and sometimes you get a bonus, right? When you get a bonus, you go faster, you are more strong, right? You get a bonus in a video game, someone shoots you, you can't get hurt. Do you get bonuses like that in your video games? Yeah.
No, I get bonuses like superpowers.
Superpowers. Okay, so this month gives you superpowers.
Yes.
If you do anything auspicious in this month, you get superpowers. Extra benefit, extra bonus. So you're chanting every day in this month, it's more powerful. So that's why it's extra special to chant this month. But there's one difference. Okay, Krishna said, because the other months, everyone was neglecting this month and saying that don't do any karma kanda. Karma kanda means like you do a yagya or something and you pray, let me get a big house or a really nice wife or husband and a lot of money. So people do some ceremony to get benefit for themselves in this world. Not as much to like worship and love God. They want a nice facility in this world. And they do lots of ceremonies for that. But Krishna said, because they neglected you, I give you the mercy that in this month, karma kanda won't work. But if you do a little bit of bhakti, you get the greatest benefit. I'll give you an example. Like, do you know the story of Sudama?
Sudama Briva?
The Brahmin. He was Krishna's friend and he was really poor.
Yeah.
And one time he took Krishna a few chips
A
rice,
grain of
of
rice.
rice.
Yeah.
and he hid it in his armpit because he was shy and he had like a big hole there because he was so skinny. And he went to see Krishna and Krishna embraced him and said, I know you've come from a long way, you must have brought me something. So he took by force this rice and he ate it. And he was going to take 2, he had a little pouch. He was so skinny that he had like a pocket under his arm. You know? He had a little pocket. And he had a pouch of rice and he kept it there. And he walked. Because he didn't have a bag. He was so poor, he didn't have a pocket in his shirt or a bag. So he kept his rice pouch in his armpit pocket. And he didn't eat so much, so he didn't even sweat. He didn't have any food, water in him. So it was like, okay, no problem. So he kept it there, and Krishna said, I know you must have brought me something. So he took it out by force, and he took one handful, and he ate it. And then he went to take another, and Rukmini stopped him. You know Rukmini?
Yeah, his wife.
Yeah, Krishna's wife. Good. So, what happened as a result to Sudama? What happened to Sudama the next day when he went home? You tell me, Dana.
When he came back, he didn't recognize his hometown because it was
Different.
Yeah, it
Yes.
was different. What was different about it, Lee? What was different?
Buildings.
Tall buildings. Yeah,
yeah,
like New York
it's
City.
more rich. Like
It was all transformed. It became very opulent. Like palaces, jewels, gold, diamond, marble, and his wife was really beautiful. He couldn't recognize it. And she came and gave him a garland saying, Krishna made it all like this. You gave him a few grains of rice, and look what Krishna gave you. So Krishna gave that blessing that you do a little bit for Krishna, Krishna gets so happy with you, he gives you everything. That's the story of Sudama. So Krishna said, if you do a little bit of bhakti for me, when he gave this rice, this is called bhakti. He gave it to Krishna with love. Oh Krishna, I want to give this to you. He wasn't thinking, I need something. But actually his wife was telling him, you should go and try to get something from Krishna because he's so wealthy and we're very poor. So his wife wanted him to get something. But Sudama, he was just wanting to meet his friend Krishna. In childhood, they were both in the same Gurukul. So he wanted to meet his friend Krishna. But the story is there that you do a little bit bhakti for Krishna, like now you're chanting the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. You're chanting on beats? So you chant one round. On each beat you chant, what do you chant?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Okay, so you got to chant it so that you can hear it, and that you don't go so fast that, like some people, when we were in school, one boy got the record for chanting a whole round in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. And you know how he did it? He would like pull the beads the whole time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, and like within a few mantras he would be finished. So you got to be careful. Each bead you chant one Mahamantra.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay? And where do you start? You start on the big side.
Huh?
The big bead.
The big
And
bead.
you chant one mantra for each bead, 108 beads, you get to the other end, and then you finish one round.
Mm-hmm.
So you do that for Krishna, then Krishna's going to give you everything. But
Everything?
yeah, everything.
Yes.
So the question is, what do you want? What do you want?
Well, I always wanted a new Y scooter, like a Y flicker. Those scooter things.
It's a really cool scooter where all you have to do is do like 1 or 2 pushes and you have to just move around to meet people.
So that's all you want.
And you do have just to turn it. I'm very good at turning.
So you want a Y scooter. Okay, anything else?
Where to thing?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah, that's good. She's pretty self-satisfied. Just a scooter.
I guess so. For now.
For
Oh
now.
my God.
For a few years.
That's so funny.
So, Krishna is so merciful that he says, I'm going to tell you a verse, okay? Krishna says, Akamo sarvakamo va moksha kama udharati divrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusha param. Okay, so Krishna says, Akamo sarvakamo va. If you want nothing, or you want everything. Moksha kama, if you want liberation from suffering and attaining the eternal world and eternal life and happiness, then you can get that. Yajeta Purushaparam. Whatever you want, Krishna can give you. Divrena Bhakti Yogena. If you intensely perform Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga, whatever you want, you can get. Anything you want, you can get, okay? That's Krishna's guarantee in Srimad Bhagavatam.
Well, I wanted a superpower. I don't think Krishna
Oh, you don't think he can give you?
She always wants to fly.
What
Yeah.
superpower you want to fly?
Yeah.
You gotta be careful. If you want it too much, what'll happen? Next life, you become a bird. Maybe. And Krishna will give you the superpower.
I also want the power of the mind. So like for example, if I say in my mind I'm gonna win, I'll win a game. I'll win the game.
Have you done that?
The power of
1 or 2 times.
2 times. So you gotta do more Bhakti Yoga.
And the power of darkness.
You want the power of what? The power of China. Okay.
Hmm.
So, but Krishna teaches us you should actually try to pray for the greatest thing. The greatest thing.
the liberation of this world.
Not just that. Actually.
And Shiva.
Yeah, exactly. There's something more important than liberation. Something more important than liberation. Do you know what that is? Staying with Krishna directly. Because that means liberation is included. It's included within that. It's like a package deal. When you buy something in the store and like something's included also. So if you're with Krishna, mukti is included. Okay? I'll give you another verse. Tatenukampam susamikshamano punjana evatma kritam vipakam vidvagapurdir vidalnannamaste jiveta yo mukti pade sadhayavak. Mukti pade. Krishna is called, careful. Krishna is called Mukti pade. You want to sit over here, Lily? Mukti pade. You know what that means? Krishna's feet, it's okay. Krishna's feet have liberation right there with them. Krishna's feet, liberation is in Krishna's feet. Like when Krishna killed Aghasura, the demon, snake, the soul came out in the light and entered Krishna's feet. Mukti pade. Krishna's feet have mukti. And it also means the position. Mukti pade sadaya bhakti. You get the position of mukti. So it's a package deal. If you're with Krishna, mukti is included. It's a package. Okay? What?
So you know how Krishna danced on the 5-headed snake?
Kaliya. Many heads.
Kaliya.
Thousands of heads.
Kalya.
Thousands of heads.
Kaliya. Kaliya.
Kaliya.
Yeah. Yeah, what about it?
So he got he was dancing like with his feet while he was playing the flute.
Playing the flute.
So technically, did he get liberated too?
Yeah, but he got even better than liberation. He got to play with Krishna and the gopis, and he got freedom from any problems, and then he went to the spiritual world also. So the point is that Mukti Padesa Bhak, if you develop love for Krishna and relation with Krishna, then you get the greatest thing. And ultimately, that's what we should pray for in Purusottama month. Because everything else is included. I'm going to tell you a funny story. I just remembered. I forgot it for a minute. I'm going to tell you a funny story. That when you ask for something, if you're smart, like if you get a genie in a bottle, say you get a bottle. Like a genie
in a bottle?
Yeah. And you rub it and a genie comes out and it gives you 3 wishes. So you shouldn't waste your wishes on silly things. So if a genie came out and said, Leela, I give you 3 wishes. What's your first wish?
Seeing Krishna.
There you go. See, she's advancing. She's advancing in Krishna consciousness. A few minutes ago, she wanted a scooter. Scooter is also good. No problem. You can have a scooter. But if you're with Krishna, you don't need a scooter. If you're with Krishna, you don't need to fly. You can do all that stuff also. With Krishna, you see, with Krishna, it's like sometimes they're playing here, they're flying. Like with Krishna, everything is included. It's a whole package deal. That's why going to Krishna is the best. With Krishna, you're not going to die. You're not going to get old. You want to be old?
No.
And pain? Yeah, so you don't have to get old. You don't have to die. You always get to play. You always get to be young and playing with Krishna. Mukti is included. I'm going to tell you a story. There was a really smart Brahmin who was worshipping Shiva. Lalit, you know Shiva? Who's Shiva, Lalit? Who's Shiva? Okay. So there was a Brahmin who was worshipping Shiva, and he was really poor. He was crippled. He was lame and crippled. Like he couldn't walk right. And he was half blind.
Really?
So he couldn't see, like, he had to have glasses like this thick. And he still couldn't see. So he had to walk around with a stick, So he was blind and he had no money and no family. No family. And he had no money and no house. No house, no money, blind, crippled, lame, everything. But he would worship Shiva. Om bom bom bole, like, Om Namo Shivaya. He would worship Shiva. And one day, after a long time, Tivrena Bhakti Yogina, by deeply performing bhakti to Shiva, one day Shiva appeared and said, I'm giving you a boon, but I'm only giving you 1 wish. Only 1. So I asked you, you have 3 wishes that the genie asked you, what do you want? If you're smart, you learn how to make a package deal. All in one. So this man was very intelligent. He was blind, he was lame, he had no money, but he was smart. So Shiva said, I give you 1 boon. You want to know what he asked for? He said, with my own eyes, I want to see my grandson jump on my lap, and I want to carry him around while we're eating at a gold table, surrounded by all our family. So Shiva was saying he is very smart. Because if he said, make me wealthy, he's still blind, he's still lame, he still has no family. No family. So he said, I want to see with my eyes my grandson. That means he has wife, he has son, he has grandson, so wife, his kids have family, and he's eating on a gold table. So he's very wealthy, and he's healthy because he's running around with his grandkid. So Shiva was like, bravo, 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 sadhu, 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 tatastu, I give it to you. And so he became like that, wealthy, family, everything. So this is called package deal. So if you worship Krishna, it's the package deal, everything included. Okay? It's in the Bhagavatam. In the Bhagavatam it says, some people worship Indra, and they get some certain benefit. They get a high post or something like that. Some people worship Durga, some people worship Ganesh, some people worship Shiva, some people worship Surya. And from each devata they get 1 benefit. From Surya they get this, the power. From Shakti, from Saraswati they become very wise and learned. They get 1 thing from each devata. But if you worship Krishna, you get everything. That's why it says Purusottama. Krishna is the best. Try to worship Krishna. Okay? So that's why we say like everything is within Krishna. There's another verse in the Gita, okay? Yanti deva vrata devan pitrin yanti pitrirvata bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhyajinopimam. If you worship demigods, you go to them. But even their abode is temporary. If you go to Indra Loka, again when your karma is finished there, you have to come back down to Mrityu Loka, earth, where you have to die. But if you worship Krishna, tad dhama paramam mama, that abode of Krishna, then you will not ever have to die. Yad gatva nani vartante tad dhama paramam mama. This isn't our speculation. This is in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Yad gatva nani vartante, that place where you go and never have to come back to earth and die, that is my abode, Krishna says. So therefore Krishna said, you just worship me, I will come and take care of you. So that's why in this Purusottama month, we worship Krishna and Shrimati Radhika. And we worship them all the time, but especially in this month, this is the bonus month. Like a video game. So you do chanting or anything in bhakti this month, you get double bonus. Triple bonus. Okay, I'll tell you one short more story and then we'll stop. We'll do kirtan, okay?
Can you tell us the story about the floating head?
The floating head story.
Yeah.
Do we have time for the floating head story? Okay, we'll tell you the floating head story. First I'm going to tell you about Giriraj and Purusottama. This month of Purusottama, everyone in India likes to go to Giriraj and do parikrama. Govardhan. Govardhan is what the hill Krishna lifted with his left hand. Right? Krishna lifted him with his left hand. His name is Giriraj. Means the king of all mountains. There's a cool story about Giriraj that is one time, it's a very interesting story. Okay, do you know how Giriraj came to Braj? It's a very cool story, I'll tell you shortly. Giriraj was part of the family of mountains of the Himalayas. He was one of the youngest boy. And his father was the Himalayas. And one time a rishi, a great sage, this is in the Vedic age when they had mystical powers. So there was a sage called Pulastya. And he wanted to bring a mountain to Lord Shiva's place in Kashi. He said, Shiva doesn't have any mountain, I want to bring him a mountain. So he went to the Himalayas and asked him for Bhiksha. Bhiksham Dehi. He thought, if I need a mountain, I should go beg from the Himalayas. If I want to get a donation, I should go to a wealthy person. If I need a big donation, go to a wealthy person, then they can give it to me. So where are you going to get a mountain? Go to the Himalayas, a lot of mountains. So he went to the Himalayas and said, I need a mountain. So they discussed, you can take Govardhan. He was the youngest one, and he was always absorbed in bhajan, and so he didn't spend time with the family so much. So they said, okay, take him. He's like extra. Like Purusottama month is the extra month, right? You remember? I'm going to ask you about this next time I see you, so try to remember. Purusottama was the extra month that was left out, and Krishna made him the best month, right? So Giriraj was like the extra little mountain hill that the family said he's extra, because he was always chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. He was always absorbed in bhajan, and he didn't go and socialize and hang out. Even the mountain has a deva. So the deva is like, they have a human-like form, and the mountain is like one type of body. The mountain is like a body, but he also has a human form, like Surya. Surya is the sun, but the sun also has a human-like body. This is called like the topmost, Nara Uttama. The topmost kind of body is a human body. So the sun also has a human body, the mountain also has a human body, a spirit in it. And it's a human-style spirit. So Giriraj was the extra. So they said, he's the extra one, you can take him. But Giriraj was very happy. He's thinking, okay, at least I get to leave samsara, give up samsara, and go do bhajan alone, no problem. Shiva is good association for me. Shiva is also always doing bhajan. Shiva is always, you see him, he has a mridanga, a drum. He always likes to play his dumuru. It's like everything all in one. One hand, enough. And he plays that, and he has his snakes and all the ghosts, and everyone dances and does kirtan. So he thought, I can go do bhajan with Shiva. So Pulastya carried him. But Giriraj made a condition. Giriraj was very smart. He thought, maybe I get to go to Krishna in Braj. Krishna is coming. He was a devotee of Krishna. He's Haridasa Varya, the best devotee of Krishna. Okay? So he told the sage that while you're taking me, if you set me down anywhere, I won't get up and go again. I won't get up and go anywhere again. So the sage said, no problem. He was very powerful. So he was carrying him for a long time, but he came over this place called Braj. You know where Braj is? Vrindavan. Where Krishna played and grew up with Nanda Yashoda, Radharani, right? So when he was going over that area, he had to go to the bathroom really bad. But he was carrying Giriraj, and if you're carrying something and doing some work and you really have to go to the bathroom, then you want to set it down. You know? I'll tell you a funny story Prabhupada said. It's a good story. Prabhupada said that if you're thinking 50% to do something, 50% not to do something, like 50% I should go, 50% I should stay, half-half. Like say you have to go somewhere and you're like, should I go or not? Should I do it or not? If it's 50-50, he said stay. Prabhupada said 50-50, then stay. But if nature calls, you must go. Right? Anything else, 50-50, stay. But nature is calling, 50-50, you have to go. Right? Otherwise, you'll go in your pants. Okay, so Prabhupada said, 50-50, stay. But nature calls, go. So the sadhu, he thought, okay, and anyhow, I'll put Giriraj down, go to the bathroom, come back, no problem. So he placed Giriraj down in the middle of Braj, Vrindavan. This was before Krishna came, long time before. And then he went to find somewhere private to go to the bathroom. And he was passing first, number one, not number two. Number one, okay? But it was taking a really long time because he hadn't gone for a long time. He was flying a long way, so it was like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And it was like, all the water in Vrindavan is salty. They say it's because it's from his urine. Salty water. And when he came back, he took bath afterwards and came back and said, okay, let's go. But Giriraj said, I reminded him, Giriraj said that, I told you, if you set me down, I won't get up again. Because he made a special plan that he was praying to Krishna as they were going over. He's like, Krishna, I just want to be with you. This is Vrindavan. I know Krishna is going to come, perform all his pastimes. I want to be with you, Krishna. So Krishna reigns by Yogamaya. Yogamaya is his sister. Krishna's sister is Yogamaya, and she has all magical powers. So she made it that he had to go to the bathroom, and he sat down Giriraj, and then went to the bathroom, and then Giriraj said, I'm staying. So that was where Krishna came and performed pastimes with Giriraj. And the sage gave him a curse. He said, you're going to shrink. He said, no problem. But actually, he's never shrinking. This is only from separation from Krishna. It's another long story. So Giriraj is also called Purusottama. Okay? Two reasons. One is that he was the extra son, the extra boy. And Krishna gave him the highest position. Just like the extra month became Purushottam, Giriraj is Purushottam. There's a story. Now, Giriraj is very special because actually he is also Krishna. It's a long story about Giriraj stuff. I don't think we have time because we also have to tell the story about the floating head. The floating head story.
The floating head.
But Giriraj is a devotee and he's also Krishna. Within Giriraj there's 3 tattvas. It's very special. It's called Trivikram. 3 bends, 3 sides to Giriraj. He is a devotee, he is Krishna, and he is also Radhika's Dasi, Radhika's Manjari, Radhika's Saki. He's also like that. Why? Brahmadama Lila Kandare Kandarete. That when Radha and Krishna are playing in the caves, in the kunjas in Giriraj, no other man can be there. So Giriraj is not a man. Because when Radha and Krishna are playing together, it's only Radha Krishna. No other man is there. So therefore Giriraj is described to be like Radharani Saki. He's also described to be just like Krishna. Because when Krishna was offering Bhoga at Anukut, it's a long story. You know the story of Anukut? Okay, so maybe another day. We've done a lot of stories. But when Krishna offered everything, then Giriraj came out in a big 4-headed form, like a giant, and ate everything up. You know the story, Venu? Like a giant, how Giriraj came and he ate everything. So that time it was described, Krishna is actually Giriraj. This was Krishna eating everything. So this is about Giriraj, but Giriraj is Purushottam. So at the time of Purushottam month, everyone who can goes to Giriraj and does parikrama and prays to Giriraj. And so there's one short example of Narad Muni. Narad Muni, you know Narad Muni? He's like the spiritual spaceman. He flies everywhere and he can go anywhere he likes, to Vaikuntha, to everyone, and everyone welcomes him. He's like the guru of the whole universe. Okay? Like your cartoons you watch, you know, like the Skylanders. He can go there, he can go there, he can go there, he can go everywhere. This is not a Rishi. He goes everywhere. And he's the Guru and everyone honors and respects him. Right? So therefore, Narad Rishi, in his book called the Bhakti Sutras, he writes in verse 84 about Purusottama month. And he says that there's a sage named Kondilya Rishi. And he followed Purusottama month with a really special method. He went to Giriraj and he prayed every day to Giriraj for the whole month, and he chanted one mantra the whole time. There's a mantra for Purusottama month. Okay? It's a mantra honoring Giriraj, and he chanted it every day for as much as he could, like many hours every day. And after that, Giriraj granted him everything, complete perfection. He got everything by doing that. Like I told you, this is the bonus month. So by doing this mantra and this mantra, you chant the Maha Mantra, no problem. But you can also chant this mantra even once a day, and you get all benefit. And so Narad Rishi writes this in the Bhakti Sutra, saying, if you chant this mantra during Purusottama month, you get complete auspiciousness, supreme benefit. Because this Giriraj is Purusottama, and it's the Purusottama month, and it's all Krishna. Krishna is Purusottama, and Krishna is Giriraj. So that mantra is Govardhanadharam Vande. You can chant after me, okay? Say Govardhana, Govardhana, Dharam, Vande.
Vande.
We'll start again, okay? Govardhana,
Govardhana.
Dharam,
Dharam.
Vande.
Vande.
Gopala,
Gopala.
Goparupinam, Gokula, Utsavam, Vishanam, Govindam, Gopikam Priyam. Okay, this is the mantra that we chant. That's the most important mantra. This sage, Kundilya, chanted this mantra all day, every day for this whole month. And he got all his desires fulfilled. Ultimately, what did he get? What was his desire? Oh, I want to be with the Brajbasis and Krishna in Transcendental Braj. I want to always be there, playing and living there, full of happiness and bliss. So what does the mantra mean? I'll just explain the mantra. Govardhana, dharam means who lifted. Govardhana dharam. So it's praying to Krishna who lifted Govardhan Vande. I pray to Krishna who lifted Govardhan. Govardhana dharam Vande. Then it says, who is that? Gopala. Who is Krishna? He is Gopala. He likes to take care of the cows and all the gopas and gopis. So he is Gopala. He takes care of them. Gopa Rupinam. He is a Gopa. He is a cowherd boy. Gokula Utsava Mishanam. He is living in Gokula where it's always a festival. Every day is a festival. That's why we like to do kirtan class and take nice prasad and dance. Because every day is a festival. In Bhakti, every day should be a festival. That's Krishna Loka. In Krishna's in his world, every day is a festival. So Gokula Utsava Mishanam, Govindam Gopika Priyam. That Govinda is Gopika Priyam, the dearmost beloved of all the gopis. So this verse, everyone is like starting with Go. Govardhana Dharam Vande, Gopala Goparupinam, Gokula Utsava Mishanam, Govindam Gopika Priyam. Go, 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 go to Goloka. Go means the cows, Go means the gopas, gopis, but everything is connected to the cows, Surabhi Mata. If you worship Surabhi, all the devatas are in Surabhi Mata. That's why the cow is most auspicious. And Krishna always protects the cow. Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha. Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So we'll chant that mantra once more and do a short kirtan, and then we'll stop. Okay, so actually in our ashram in Vrindavan now, every day they're doing Govardhan Parikrama. They go by bus from Vrindavan to Govardhan, and they do whole Govardhan Parikrama while doing Sankirtan, and then they come back to Vrindavan. Every day they're doing this, and then they chant. One more time, we'll do it together. Govardhana, Dharam Vande, Gopala, Goparupinam, Gokulam, Utsavam Ishanam, Govindam, Gopika Priyam. Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Giriraj Dharan ki jai, Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. We'll do a short kirtan and we'll have prasadam. Pass me the book actually, we'll do a Giriraj song, a Hindi song. Govardhan Maharaj. Okay, it's a fun song. Is it in here? Shri Govardhan Maharaj, Maharaj, Tere Maate Kutta Viraj Raho. Shri Govardhan Maharaj, Maharaj, Tere Maate Kutta Viraj Raho. Tere Maate Kutta Viraj Raho. Page 377. Okay, you can play a little quietly. Little bit, Madanga. Okay, this is a fun song. Okay, it's all about Gira's glories. You can see in the picture that Krishna is taking up all the prasad downstairs. Okay, you ready? Shri Govardhan Maharaj, Maharaj, Tere Maate Mukta Viraj Raho. Govardhan Maharaj, Maharaj, Tere Maate Mukta Viraj Raho. Tere kanan kundal shohe rahe, Tere kanan kundal shohe rahe, Tere kanan kundal shohe rahe. Aur gala bajayanti mala, he mala, Tere maate mukta viraj raho. Aur gale bajayanti mala, Shri Govardhan Maharaj, Maharaj, Tere Maate Mukta Viraj Raho. Shri Govardhan Maharaj, Maharaj, Tere Maate Mukta Viraj Raho. Tere mukha pe muraliya sohe rahe, Tere mukha pe muraliya sohe rahe. Tore Pahira Lala, O Lala, Tere Maate Mukta Viraj Raho. Shri Govardhan, Shri Govardhan, Shri Govardhan Maharaj, Maharaj, Tere Maate Mukta Viraj Raho. Shri Govardhan ki jai bolo, Shri Govardhan ki jai bolo, Shri Govardhan ki jai bolo, Shri Govardhan Shri Govardhan, Shri Govardhan Maharaj, Maharaj, Tere Maate Mukta Viraj Raho. Shri Govardhan Maharaj, Maharaj, Tere Maate Mukta Viraj Raho. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Giridhari, Giridhari Shama Vanamali. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Giridhari, Giridhari Shama Vanamali. Oh Giridhari Shama Vanamali, Giridhari Shama Vanamali, Giridhari Shama Vanamali, Hey Giridhari Shama Vanamali. Oh, Shri Radha Ramana Giridhari, Giridhari Shama Vanamali. Shall we sing? Jai Jai Radha Ramana Giridhari, Giridhari Shama Vanamali. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Giridhari, Giridhari Shama Vanamali. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Giridhari, Giridhari Shama Vanamali. Jai Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda. Jai Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Jai Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe Radhe Jai Govardhan mein Manasi Ganga mein Jai Hari Dev mein Radhe Radhe. I'm missing one place, you say Radhe Radhe, okay? I'm missing one place in Giriraj, you say Radhe Radhe, okay? Govardhan mein Radhe Radhe Manasi Ganga Radhe Radhe Manasi Devi Govinda Kund mein Aishwareshwar Kund mein Aishwareshwar Mahadev Akleshwar Mahadev Varshane mein Radhe Radhe Nandagaon mein Radhe Radhe Vrindavan mein Bahulavan mein Madhuvan mein Lalavan mein Panditavan mein Jawargaon mein Jai Surya Kund mein Jai Radha Kund mein Jai Narad Kund mein Jai Shyama Kund mein Jai Radhe Radhe 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 Jai Govinda Govinda Jai Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Bolo bolo. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Then you chant Hare Rama Rama Rama. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Bolo bolo. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. Jaya Giri Raja Jaya Govardhana Jaya Giri Raja Jaya Govardhana Jaya Jaya Giri Raja Jaya Govardhana Jaya Giri Raja Jaya Govardhana Jaya Giri Raja Hari Tai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Tai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Tai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Tai Gaur Hari Tai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Tai Gaur Hari Bol Tai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Tai Gaur Hari Bol Tai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Jai Giriraj Govardhan Ji ki
Jai.
Shri Purushottam Vrat ki Jai
Jai.
Purushottam Dev ki Jai
Jai.
Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam Pan Vrindaya Tulsi Devaya Priyaya Kesavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Devi Satyavate Namaha Pancha Kalpa Duribhishcha Kripa Sindhu Patidanim Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So, having a quick little feast to celebrate a few things. Radha Mata had a very auspicious day the other day, and
Thank you, Prabhu.
also in honor for Satyam's father,
There's gonna be ice cream.
and also because
I know there's
we got in contract to get our property. Yay! And we are moving in on October 2nd, and we're having an opening festival October 10th, hopefully. We'll be ready. And so we're all very happy. We're celebrating this. And I'm going to quiz you during our prasadam
No.
about what you learned today. And then if
I
you
just wanna
answer
eat.
right, I'll tell you about the floating head story.
Yay.
Okay? Gaur Premanande Hare Bol.
Haribo.
If you don't answer, no ice cream.
No, you can't do that to me.
okay. You do that, pay back.
Hare Bol.
I know, can you today?